Any showers will die away this evening and it'll be mainly dry and clear. A cold, frosty night with some fog in places and lowest temperatures 0 to -4 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
Off the ball.
Thanks to Screwfix.ie, championing the trade with a dedicated call centre.
This is News Talk.
Hello there. So we've got Thursday Night Football with John Giles coming up at the usual time. Eddie O'Sullivan after 8 o'clock on the Irish 15 picked for Italy in Chicago. We have Mike Carlson talking NFL. It's Rodgers versus Brady this weekend. And Kevin Kilbane is here as well. Hello.
Hiya, Joe.
Richie McCormick, hello to you.
Story, lads.
53106, the text number. We're at Off the Ball on Twitter. It's nice to be in a Thursday.
It is, yeah.
This is what it feels like, Joe.
When was the last time you did a Thursday? It must be.
Time.
Oh, I tell you, yeah.
Long time. Don't know when I last got to chew the fat with Giles.
He's usually at home watching EastEnders by this stage, Joe.
He's in studio tonight, John Giles.
Oh, that is a highlight, isn't it?
Listen, that is an honour. That's a privilege.
It is. Imagine, some man. He is some man.
You never get used to it.
He's some man.
You never get used to having Josie in studio opposite you. It just feels like
you never get used to just chatting to him.
That's the thing.
He does when you talk to him in general,
Yeah.
just to say hello to him. It's one of them. You're watching yourself what you're saying because you're kind of in awe of him, aren't you, when you're talking to him?
One of my favourite things from this year was when we did the Manchester Derby in D2, was it, up on Harcourt Street?
Yeah, I listened to that.
Clinton Morrison did it with John. And I think it was the first time that Clinton had ever come into contact with John Giles. You kind of think Clinton Morrison, has been to a World Cup, he's played several Ireland internationals.
Well, I know Clinton well, so you've got Clinton read all wrong just by where you started.
But Clinton was in awe.
Yeah.
Of Giles. He was just like, this guy's a legend. Absolutely loved him.
I'll give you something else on Clinton, right? So I used to room with Clinton for a long time. So Clinton, every time we used to come back in from training, he'd always ask me, how was it today, Kev? Was it good? Was it good today? I said, yeah, you were grand. No, was it good though? So Clinton was so paranoid about how he was coming across in training every day. Do you think I'll start Saturday? Do you think I'll start? Do you think Brian will play me? Yeah, you started last game. Why wouldn't you start the next game? I don't know, mate. I don't know. This is a little bit insecure.
I love Clinton Morrison even more now.
He's class. He's another class act. He's
the best ever Irish goal celebration ever, by the way, as well. When he scored a fantastic goal against China at, you were probably playing that.
Do you know what's one of the best Ireland goals ever? One of the best Ireland goals ever.
Underrated because it was a friendly. I don't think it was live on Irish TV, at least it would have been on Sky. But Clinton came out with the best kind of dancey celebration of it. So I was like, you never see that from an Irish player. Yeah. Thank God for Clinton Morrison, I say.
No, he was class.
Has this goal passed me by?
Oh, one of the best goals you'll see. And I'm being serious now. One of the best goals you'll see.
Yeah.
Dublin?
At Lansdowne, yeah.
The old Lansdowne.
I think it was Brian was manager, I think.
Yeah,
really top class goal.
What part did you play in the goal?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. It was because he was in the right hand side.
Yeah, it sounds about right to me.
Yeah, no, it was from an angle. He made it himself. It was from an angle, and he kind of chipped the keeper from an angle. And
oh yes, that's coming back.
Brilliant, really brilliant bit of individual skill. It was, yeah, great goal. I bet you probably search it on Twitter. I bet you couldn't find it, or online or something. It's one of those that's because it wasn't really shown anywhere. He didn't really get a chance to get out, but it was a great goal. Yeah.
Or Clinton, I never knew he was a worrier during the week. He just has an air of, I believe in myself.
There's not a lot of football. I would probably say Clinton would be the biggest warrior I've ever come across.
Wow, really?
The biggest warrior in professional football, yeah.
I'm not saying he would be the last, but he would not be someone that would jump to mind.
Does much of that go on? You kind of you don't think of footballers in terms of worrying after training. You kind of think not necessarily as robotic, but they kind of go through the process so often every week that it becomes routine.
It's a great point. There's a lot, There's a lot. I think when you're younger, you do worry. I remember even worrying myself when I first came into the international setup when I was like Houghton, Cascarino, Townsend, all these lads. I was worrying around that. That was maybe a little bit of nervousness and in awe of these.
But do you vocalise that to anybody?
No, I didn't. I just sat in the corner.
But do many people vocalise it to other teammates?
That's good male behaviour, by the way. You sit in the corner, keep your worries to
yourself.
yourself.
Exactly. It's true.
I think it's better. Really bottle them up, and then let them come to a head down the line.
Yeah, well, that's probably what happened. No, it's a great point. There wouldn't be too many that would, but when you get to chat to people or seriously chat to them, which would be a lot of teammates that although you're teammates and you're with them day in, day out, would you really ever have that serious conversation, about insecurities and everything? And it, in general, wouldn't necessarily happen.
It's the same as work everywhere,
Well, it is, of course it is.
They're colleagues as much as teammates. But
the thing is with Clinton, and I say probably on the other side of it, is Clinton probably cared as much as anyone because he was desperate to make an impression every single day in training. Clearly, he wanted to make that impression. He wanted to improve. I did tell you something as well. Fabulous first touch striker, brilliant with his back to goal. One of the best that I would have seen with his back to goal.
Am I unfair to say that I often saw him? This is going to sound really unfair, right?
Come on.
I would associate a lot of his finishes with he'd lose his balance as he struck the ball into the net. That ring a bell at all?
No, not really.
Okay,
not really.
We'll move on.
Clinton wasn't a striker of a ball. He was a passer of the ball.
Yeah,
pass it into the net, pass it into corners. That type of player. Yeah. Clinton, I bet Clinton will be listening now. Clinton's going to message me tonight.
Who's your man? What's he on about?
I'll guarantee Clinton will message me. If not in the next 5 minutes, he will be messaging me in the next hour.
Okay, you've permission to put on your phone just in case.
Is it? Yeah.
And if he does,
I don't know if I've got it. It's
if he
inside.
does, then we're putting him on live on air.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Totally,
do that.
any content,
We'll do that. See, I suppose it is a difficult aspect of football if you're one of those players on the fringes where you're not sure of your place. You get this horrible build-up once, if not twice a week. Am I in the team? There's very few other jobs where you're getting that regular am I in, am I out kind of thing.
Day to day, make an impression on the manager. The manager
it's tough though.
Have a bad day. Oh, God's going to go against me for the Saturday or the Tuesday, whenever it's going to be. And
like, put it this way: me and Richie know we're on next Monday, we're on next Tuesday, we're on next Wednesday. You know that kind of a way. You're not really.
The way I look at it, you two are in the comfort zone.
We are.
That's the way I see it.
Purely in the comfort zone.
I'd say you're in the comfort zone.
But there's lots of first team players who are in the comfort zone too.
Yeah.
They know they're the main men in their position. They get their game.
So you know you're the main man in your position. Well, you've 5 out of 6 years, is it, Joe? That's the thing.
That's not the point I'm
Still
making.
0 for 0 here, Kev.
Sports presenter of the
Whereas footballers have this constant kind of,
Am I?
Yeah, I can see why Clinton would leave training every day and be wondering, how did I do? Am I okay?
And do you know
they're
what?
desperate to play at the weekend.
Maybe your point there, Rich, is so valid. I think more actually feel that way that don't, if you know what I mean. But they just never vocalise it. Never would say it.
Is there a weakness associated with vocalising it?
No.
You're not looking for, like, is one of those people who's absolutely brilliant and then turn around to your teammates and going, am I doing enough? And you're going, you're taking the piss, mate. You're like Lionel Messi out there. You're grand. Don't worry about it.
No, I don't think there's a weakness in vocalising it as well. I just think it's something it's just unspoken.
But a perceived weakness?
I wouldn't necessarily see it that way. No, I wouldn't necessarily see it. I would have had quite a few maybe coming through a youth team and maybe even stepping up into professional level when I was at Preston, one or two that would have been a little bit insecure.
Yeah.
A little bit, I don't know, felt that they had to perform at a certain level every single day, and if that level dropped off, then they felt as though, they weren't going to be playing. That's what it is.
Quick point before we start the news round, something totally different. I remember you coming back. You're obviously friendly with Lee Carsley, who was involved with the Manchester City underage setup for a number of years.
1 year, actually.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay.
That is still a number, though.
I remember you coming back from a game. It is. And you were saying, I've just seen the best goalkeeper I've ever seen at underage level.
Yeah.
It's a big statement. And I was busy and I stopped listening after that. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, great. Yeah.
Just zone out generally.
On your laptop after a bit, yeah.
No, it's really interesting. Underage, great. And mentally I thought, come back to me when he makes his debut.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, Manchester City versus Fulham this evening. Arnaut Muric, number 49.
I think he's Arno. Is it just Arno Muric? How they obviously shortened.
Well, his
it
full
down.
name is Arnaut Muric. We'll call him Muric for the purposes of this conversation.
Montenegrin, is he?
Number 49 for Manchester City.
As well, Rich, yeah.
Muric. So when you saw him in the last year or so, you were so impressed. You said he was the best you'd seen underage.
Yeah, well, he went on loan. I think I'm right in saying he went to Vitesse at the start of the season. Mm-hmm. Then Claudio Bravo got injured. He was the one that was immediately called back, put in the first team squad.
He's 19 years of age.
19 now, yeah. 2 years ago, I saw him when Cars was youth team manager, and I watched a lot of his side through that year. So I think Diaz is starting tonight. Brahim Diaz, he's another one. Phil Foden's another one that would have played in that side.
Right. That's a good side.
It was a class side. They got to the Youth Cup final. Chelsea beat them in the final.
Right.
But Muric, honestly, he's the best I've seen with his feet. The best shot stopper, the best at commanding his area at taking crosses. He's about 6'4", 6'5", I would say.
6'6".
Yeah, 6'6". He has every attribute that you would look at and think this guy is going to go on and get 100 caps for his country. He's going to go and win several Premier Leagues.
Right.
When you watch him, you just think this guy is unbelievable. The little thing on him as well, Karza was saying to me as well, one game that I actually wasn't at, he actually did a 1-2 around the centre forward, and Karza said to him, look, I know you're good, but look, you cannot do that. If you did that at first team level, this could actually hinder your career because this sort of thing can obviously affect your confidence. But I mean, seriously has everything. Right. Serious now, he's way off maybe Edison at the moment, where he's going to be seriously competing with him. But Yeah,
Okay.
what a talent.
Origin-
I mean, bearing in mind I've not seen him in the last year, I've not seen him
fair
in the
enough.
last 6-8 months, but when I saw him at 16, 17,
Well, he's
incredible.
obviously
it's his
progressed.
second game of the season,
He's obviously
like,
progressed to the point where he's in the team. So Arjanet Muric, 19 years of age, Kosovan. He's born in Switzerland to Albanian parents and holds Kosovan, Montenegrin and Swiss passports.
He's played for Montenegro under 21, scored in this as well.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. You heard it here first. So we'll see how he gets on this evening against Fulham in the Carabao Cup. The Newsround is brought to you this evening with Screwfix.ie, championing the trade, a choice of over 20,000 quality trade products. And you're starting with the Irish 15 named in the last hour or so.
Yeah, both Will Addison and Ross Byrne will likely earn their first caps off the bench in Saturday's test with Italy in Chicago. Rhys Ruddock captains the youthful side and is joined in the back row by Leinster teammates Josh van der Fleer and number 8 Jack Conan. Quinn Roux partners first-time starter Tyg Byrne in the second row, while hooker Niall Scannell is joined in the front row by Leinster props Jack McGrath and Andrew Porter. Jordan Larmour starts a full back with Andrew Conway and Jacob Stockdale manning the wings. Gary Ringrose partners Bundy Aki in the centre, and in the absence of both Conor Murray and Jonathan Sexton, it's Luke McGrath and Joey Carberry that form the three quarters. On the bench, it's Sean Cronin, Dave Kilcoyne, Finlay Beelum, Devin Toner, Geordie Murphy, John Cooney, Byrne and Addison. The Italy team already known for the last 10 days or so.
Yeah. So I must confess, unbelievably busy day. All I know about the All-Star team, I swear, is that Cluxton's not in it.
Yeah.
So, talk to me.
Came out at 6:45 this morning. As expected, Dublin dominated the 2018 PwC All-Star Football Team of the Year. 7 members of the All-Ireland title-winning side have been included among the 15 best players of the year. James McCarthy, Jack McCaffrey, Brian Fenton and Kieran Kilkenny all collect their third All-Stars. Johnny Cooper and Paul Mannion pick up their second and Brian Howard is first. Elsewhere, Rory Beggan, as you mentioned, is preferred as goalkeeper ahead of Stephen Cluxton. Beggan, one of 3 Monaghan players in the side, along with Carl O'Connell and Conor McManus. All-Ireland finalists Tyrone see Padraig Hampsey and Colm Kavanagh make the cut, while Donegal's Ryan McHugh, Galway's Ian Burke and Kerry's Conor Clifford are each of their counties' lone representatives.
Is Cluxton the big talking point by a distance?
Oh, by a mile.
By a mile.
By a
I
mile.
heard, I mean, where I first saw Kieran Whelan saying maybe his relationship with the media might be contributing to it. I don't think that.
Kieran
many
Cunningham
people-
said, like, he like, obviously Kieran Cunningham would know for a few media types. He says that's never entered into the conversation. That kind of
What is the
issue.
story then? I mean, you know, every season we've had this conversation 2 or 3 times now over the last few years. What's the story?
Well, in fairness, I mean, Rory Beggan has had
his
an
class.
unbelievable year.
Yeah.
And has done some unbelievable things, and his kicking is fantastic. And somebody has said here, guys can't understand the fuss over Cluxton's omission. He played 4 1/4 games this year, conceded 7 goals, won a complete howler against Galway, also very suspect against Wicklow. This with 3 All-Star defenders and both All-Star midfielders in front of him. Beggan's free taking and Brody's shot stopping miles ahead this year, says Brian.
He's class though. Beggan is class.
Beggan's distribution is utterly incredible. I know people make the point that Stephen Cluxton changed the face of goalkeeping, but
He
you have
did,
to
yeah.
but you have to take it year on year.
I think that's the problem.
And Rory Beggan had a fantastic 2018. Again, Kieran Cunningham, I think, pointed out earlier on today, Beggan is one of the top scorers in that team as
Yeah.
well. Allied on top of that, when you consider that, his distribution and his ability to save, I mean, he's a fantastic choice.
See, I would suspect that everybody in the room who picked the All-Stars, and even Rory Beggan himself, would concede that when we look back on their careers, Stephen Cluxton is going to tower above Rory Beggan and any other goalkeeper that we've seen, maybe ever. He may even be the best, most influential GAA player we've seen ever.
Yeah.
But as you say, Richie, if you're doing it year on year, then it does get a bit tricky. And the problem in Cluxton's case is that Dublin have had this unbelievable success. He's been at the forefront of it, but he hasn't won an All-Star in a given year since 2013. So that's where it does get tricky. But you can't just say when you're in the room, well, look, Beggan was probably better this year, but this will be the 5th year we haven't given it to Cluxton, so maybe we should give it to Cluxton. Like, it doesn't work like that, you know?
Yeah, the only thing I can relate it to, do you remember when Ryan Giggs got Player of the Year?
The BBC Sports Personality of the Year and the Player of the
Got
Year.
Player of the Year.
Because people went, oh, it's about time he got one.
Yeah, it was a bit of that. Ryan Giggs had never won Player of the Year,
Yeah,
and he'd had such a good career. And we know what you're saying there. If you look at it in terms of medal haul and the career that he's had and the impact he had on the club, yes, you would say his career is better than many others that have got Player of the Years.
Yeah.
But it just never happened, really. And someone was excellent in the year that he was actually Player of the Years he was playing.
Even Roy Keane recently was talking about great Manchester United players and said he left Giggs out, and he made the point, well, he had a great career, I'm not sure if he was a great player. Now, that is not the case in Cluxton's case. Cluxton here is just unbelievable. Everybody knows that. But I can see it's a tricky one. Like, it's not a perfect system. It's difficult. Someone has said, Peter M, is Joe the Neymar of OTB? What does that mean?
Bit of a Flash Harry.
No.
I can see that.
The Neymar of OTB.
Bit of a Flash Harry, bit of a Mayfainer.
I probably wouldn't say
Bad
Neymar.
influence.
Who's the next tier down? Who will be the next, like, the lad that I was going to say Zlatan, but I'm not saying Zlatan.
Sure.
Yeah. Neymar's a great shout.
Neymar,
yeah.
So what attributes?
Well, personally, if I could see on a football pitch, I could imagine being a bit Neymar, a few dives,
In his
roll
Adidas.
around.
Nothing like
Yeah.
that. I was Adidas.
Yeah.
Peter M, text back in and give me the attributes that you're putting in that Venn diagram of me and Neymar.
Great skill, Joe. Great skillful man in every way.
Voluminous hair.
I don't think that's what
great hair.
he's getting at.
Yeah.
Somehow. I feel like this is a dig.
Do you?
Yeah.
He's just compared you to one of the greatest footballers in the world, Joe. What's your problem?
I'm pretty sure.
What's the problem here, Joe?
Pretty sure it's a dig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if that's a dig, I'd hate to see what an insult is.
What are people's thoughts on Cluxton? 53106. We'll try and get them very quickly. Just change my bloody title on the TV.
Joe.
The Neymar of OTB. What does he mean?
It's good.
Drugs in the you just put that through.
Yeah, it's good.
No context whatsoever.
That should actually stay on. Keep that on every time Joe's on.
Stick that on your business card.
Yeah.
And on your LinkedIn.
And do you know what as well? Can you imagine if it stayed on for a few days? Imagine how annoyed Joe would get just by seeing it on screen.
Yeah, and he would never mention it. It's the same way when anytime we bring up his TV work. He just brushes it off and goes, and anyway, next story.
Yeah. Anytime you mention his 6 and 7 years winning Sports Broadcast of the Year as well, you know.
It's like when Smashing Nice, you don't want to talk about their charity work.
Yeah.
And just move on.
Oh, yeah. He's a great guy, though.
I hate to talk about charity.
He's a great guy. What a guy.
TV presenter and multiple Sports Broadcaster of the Year, John Malone.
Yeah. Multiple award winning. That's what's down on his
much like Neymar in a way.
Twitter handle.
Much like
multiple winner, multiple all-star. Is that what you call yourself, Joe, these days? No.
What did you describe yourself as in your on any official forms?
Sorry, I'm not indulging in this crap.
Why can you? Joe, can I say something now? If it was me, you would indulge in the crap because
obviously
you would be giving it straight back to me.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the expression, you can give it but you can't take it?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Beggan, 18 points, probably scored more than some of the forwards.
There you go.
Rory and Donegal says, just relax, nobody will be able to pick 15 that everybody is content with.
100%.
Yeah.
Get over it. Sorry, we're over it. I mean, nobody.
100% over it.
Nobody here is that under it.
No.
Get over it with Cluxton. How does Colin Kavanagh get full back? I mean, this is the issue when you're trying to pick 15 positions in the modern era when those 15 positions have disappeared.
Yeah.
So it is tricky.
Thomond Park and Kingspan Stadium may be used as part of a United Irish bid to stage the 2023 Under-21 European Championships. FAI Chief Executive John Delaney and his IFA counterpart Patrick Nelson revealed their plans at Windsor Park this afternoon. The soon-to-be-renovated Dalymount Park, along with Ballymena Showgrounds, Tallaght Stadium and Turner's Cross, form the core of the proposed stadia. Obviously, the Aviva and Windsor Park are among that too, while the IRFU will make available Thomond and Kingspan if required. The bid will be formally submitted to UEFA next year, with an announcement on a winning bid expected by 2020. Brexit, of course, due to happen before that decision is made, but Delaney told BBC Sport Northern Ireland today that it won't have an impact on the bid.
It won't on the bidding process, and it won't, I think, in UEFA's eyes. UEFA will make a judgment on the best bid in terms of its infrastructure and its ability to host a tournament. The IFA have proved that already with hosting the under-19 girls, hosting the under-19 boys in 2020. We're hosting the under-17 boys next year. We're hosting the 2020 Euros. So I think both associations have proved and will prove their ability to host major tournaments at underage level and at senior level. And I think in terms of Brexit, it won't have an effect in the UEFA decision. I think the bid will stand on its own 2 feet, and hopefully it'll be successful.
Yeah, hopefully. Cluxton's the best keeper ever, but I've no complaints about Beggan this year. Maybe he should have got it last year, Cluxton. And somebody else, Joe and Kerry, says if you pick the best 15 footballers in Ireland, you pick Cluxton. But the best 15 for the 2018 season, you have to pick Beggan. Is a texting.
He's class act. He was class act across the year, wasn't he? So.
Yeah. Now, stand by, because the Daily Mail, the Sun and some other people are about to lose their minds.
Raheem Sterling is poised to become the highest paid English footballer. The 23-year-old has...
Greedy. He's greedy.
He's pocketing... he's reportedly taking...
Greedy Raheem Sterling.
A new 5-year contract for the 23-year-old, which is a ridiculous young age to be earning £300,000 a week.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's nothing though, is it? That I was just
Don't say it's nothing.
That's you. That's you all over.
No, I'm not saying that. Like,
Typical elite.
If I'm talking about in relation to Premier League football now, and it seems like someone's on £100,000 a week, and you kind of like Harry Kane's on £100,000 a week at Spurs.
Per fella.
And you're kind of going.
I've been ripped off.
Well,
Alexis Sanchez on 400 ends all arguments.
I know.
I mean, that's your open negotiating
It's absolute
position.
madness, isn't it? The way that it has gone.
So £300,000 a week, Sterling. His deal was his contract was about to expire at the end of next season.
Yeah.
He's 23. You know.
People forget that he's ridiculously young still.
Yeah.
Because everyone's talking about Martial and you know, you got to give him time. He's the same age as Sterling. Sterling has really improved. Like, we were all not writing him off at Liverpool, but just thought he would hit a certain ceiling. But he's found the right coach at the right
Well, we were
time.
looking at 50 million. Even after his first season at City, weren't we? We were looking at it.
Liverpool done well to get 50 million.
Yeah.
That's what we're thinking.
And now all of a sudden, Guardiola's got hold of him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure listeners have maybe seen that footage of Guardiola and basically dragging him into position and, you know, basically geeing him up and telling him which runs to make.
I don't know if you said this on air before, but I distinctly remember you making the point off air. I think that's where a coach who has been a player, like Guardiola, has a real advantage when it comes to attacking play, being out there with the players.
I do, honestly, and it's, you know, you can be shot down for saying it. I'm not necessarily saying that.
Don't worry about being shot down.
No, but I'm not necessarily saying that because you're a good player, you're going to become a good coach.
Yeah.
But Guardiola knows the types of runs, the little bits of movement, the first touch, and if anyone would have seen the clip of Guardiola coaching him, I do feel as though he's actually putting himself in the mindset of Raheem Sterling and what run Raheem Sterling should be making.
In a way that a Benitez or a Mourinho probably can't.
Yeah, and I think that's why Raheem Sterling is more receptacle to that. That's what I would think, honestly. And
so it's actually, it affects, it's not that Mourinho might be telling him the wrong thing, it's that the player is more inclined to accept it from a player who's done it, a manager who's done it.
And Guardiola can actually show him.
Yeah, okay.
Can actually show him, and he can look at him and think, yeah.
He knows it. Whereas if Mourinho was doing what Guardiola was doing, saying exactly the same thing, it mightn't hit the same spot.
Well, yeah, Mourinho certainly wouldn't put himself in Guardiola's position to do that. Okay. He wouldn't. If you've seen the clips of him ever when he's on the coaching side, when he's coaching, Mourinho is a brilliant tactical coach. It's like setting sides up 1 to 11, positional, and all these sort of things. But it's the little nuances, it's the little bits in games that's going to affect a game. Where Raheem Sterling wasn't affecting games for long spells when he was playing for City, and I think it's the little things he's telling him, little off the ball movement. That is where he's going to get his joy. And we were talking about it last night when we were talking in relation to certain other players, that his movement off the ball is going to be key for him.
So what if Brian Kerr's listening now and just spat out his tea and said, thanks, Kev?
No, I'm not saying that, because Brian was an excellent coach. Brian was great to work with. And you know, again, Brian was one of the best tactical coaches I would have worked with, you know, video analysis and everything it would have been. But Brian wouldn't have been on the training ground. Brian would have actually been dragging us around the pitch, actually physically with us on the training ground, grabbing a lad's arm, trying to coerce him into position. But that clip of Guardiola is just something a bit different. It is something very different. And seeing various clips of Guardiola actually on the training ground, he's saying, right, I'm Sergio Aguero, he's actually taking the position of that player and he's actually doing the sort of movement that Aguero needs, or the centre midfielder, the holding midfielder, or the right back. That's the sort of thing you'll see him doing.
We've had some Neymar context from Peter, who's text back in. Yeah. He's saying it was in the context of what Kev was saying about footballers worrying about game to game.
Oh,
I don't have to worry. Although Gavin has added to the theme and said, Richie.
Oh, God.
You get one guess. Who are you?
I'm thinking John Joe Shelby.
Don't make a ball joke. You're better than that.
He's not really not.
No, he's a brilliant footballer. John Joe Shelby's a good player.
You're telling me that's what you're getting at?
Good footballer, you know, in midfield.
Get out. That's terrible.
Eyes make baby Jesus cry.
No, he's got the whole... Of course, the bald head as well, but he's just kind of...
You guess. Who do you think Gavin has likened
Lee
you to?
Carsley.
Yeah. Carsley or Gravison. A bald
No,
one.
this person has hair. One more guess. Liverpool player. That's your last clue.
Oh, Jordan Henderson.
Okay, who are you going for?
Yeah, I probably would have said Henderson maybe as well.
Richie is the Milner of news talk. Versatility, says Gavin.
Yeah, that's
you can do it all.
Boring.
He can.
No.
Boring.
Everyone's favourite player is James Milner.
James Milner is not boring, by the way.
Funny on Twitter as well,
No,
actually.
he's good crack. Been in his company, he's good crack.
But he's funny on Twitter now as well.
Yeah.
You can do Tom Dunn. You can do Newsround.
Your permission?
You can do Joe Malloy. You can do Nathan Murphy.
You can do it all.
True.
And you also got you can also do Eamon Dunphy as well. Brilliant doing Eamon Dunphy.
Yes, that is quite true.
There you go. We're out of time, unfortunately. So, Richie, thanks very much.
Can somebody please find that Clint Morrison goal against China? Please?
China.
Yeah.
And Kevin Kilbane. We will talk again on the football show.
Kilbane.
John Giles is next.
Off the ball on News Talk.
Thanks to
Considering we have nothing to
Screwfix,
talk.
championing the trade with a choice of over 20,000 quality trade products.
News Talk has teamed up with BMW Ireland to celebrate the brand new BMW